Are we live?
I bet it's bleak.
Shout out roulette. I'm on the set. Aight, check the traps. No regrets. Word on the street. DanYo&Tita, they doing things. Yeah. These other podcasts ain't the same. The lean perspective, keep the community updated. The sister social, keeping the beautiful upgraded. I'ma keep it kosher, the lack of support got me irritated. I'm feeling obligated, voice of the streets and incarcerated. Yeah, DanYo&Tita. Yeah, DanYo&Tita. Yeah, DanYo&Tita. Yeah, DanYo&Tita.
Are we live? Are we live?
Let's do it.
We live. It's the DanYo&Tita podcast, episode 27. We back.
We back.
What's going on? All that. It's 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Tita. Aisha.
I'm Dip.
Nate the Great's not here for the first episode, but he's doing this thing.
Yeah.
You know, this is the first episode. As y'all see, this is why we're not on time, because we got some graphics now, y'all. We doing bigger things.
Yeah, man.
You know
Making moves and shit.
Most definitely. We're doing bigger things, y'all. You know what I'm saying? 2020, we got to level up. We got a special guest in the building.
Yeah.
We got a lyricist in the building.
Man, this
Better than half the rappers. I heard he's not a Jay-Z fan.
What?
A dope photographer.
Man.
Crazy.
Excellent.
I feel like his pictures are alive sometimes.
Man, the shit is ridiculous.
Can I say a boxing fanatic?
Yeah, man.
Fanatic.
I
And,
mean, he
and
keep going all day.
historian.
Huh?
And historian.
And historian.
Don't test that knowledge.
Oh, okay.
We gonna test it. We gonna see.
Let them know who's in the building.
We got Chaz in the house. Medaforacle.
Damn, yo, I got show number 1 in 2020.
You got
That's
show
crazy.
number one, 2020,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Big
Definitely.
things. How you doing today, boss? I know it's pretty early for you.
I'm good, man. I always go good, bro.
You
So,
ready?
yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, this, first of all, so why you not a Jay-Z fan? I think I asked you before a long time ago. So I didn't comprehend it.
Right.
It's not that I'm not a fan of Jay, because he's crazy.
Right.
I don't enjoy his music like most people do. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
the majority of his joints, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I hear his shit, and there's some joints that's just crazy. I actually, ironically, man, I had a label meeting. This was I want to say like 2008,
Word.
and Green Lantern was playing joints like unreleased J joints.
Oh yeah.
That he was like, he'll never release these. He just does it to stay sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous, but
It's like every 5 years we get a leak from Jay. Yeah. Man, let's get right into it. Talk about your new joint you got right now.
Wow.
See, look at that right there.
Yeah, man.
That's
yeah,
fire.
man.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nick Norris for that, man.
That
I gave
is
him
fire.
I gave him the idea. I'm like, yo, I got this idea for this cover, some like black
Yeah,
exploitation
man.
shit, and he was
Yeah.
like, yo, I got you.
That's
Yeah.
fire.
That's dope as fuck.
I ain't
dude.
hear the song in it, but I seen the cover art and I was like, that's fire.
Yeah,
that
man.
joint's crazy, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
So it's I've been like not as heavy in the music scene as I
Right.
used to be, just from traveling doing other shit, man. But I've been like on the low working on projects like in the crib. So
Yeah.
I had like mad beats sitting around, and I just shot Cash Lansky a text one day. It was like, hey, you trying to do an EP? And he was like,
Right.
nigga, yes. So I just sent them beats, man, and we like, I want to say we did like 90% of the EP in like 6 days.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
like we was just sending shit back and
Working.
forth. Yeah, and then we probably did about I want to say like 9 joints, and decided on like I want to say like 7.
7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only 2 didn't make it.
Yeah, man. It was just some joints, like the joints were dope, but it didn't. Like he kind of sat on it a while and wrote to it, and then when I got it, I was like I didn't really feel, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We kind of slid that one out, and then there was another joint that was vice versa. Like I wrote to it, sent it to him, and he was like, "Yeah." So we just text him.
I know you don't drop as often, but when you do, I get excited.
Yeah. Everybody's excited.
It's just high expectations. I already know you got quality.
Yeah,
right.
I appreciate that, man.
Every time you drop, it's dope. Why do you take the break from the music like that? Why is it being, you are dope because you and Cass top tier artists out here.
Man.
So
it's a muscle, man. So just like we need to work muscles out and keep them strong, sometimes we got to rest them too. You know what I mean?
Right.
I've never been the type of MC to get writer's block.
Right.
This is days I don't feel like writing.
Right.
I could, but I'm just like, I'm not writing today. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'll go into hiatus and be like, I'm just not gonna make music. Until, you know what I mean?
I feel that.
Man, multi-talented. I mean, it's hard to be good at one thing. But to be great at 3 things to me is pretty dope. I mean, to me, your boxing knowledge and being around boxing, I know that's a big thing. Has that always been a dream of yours, or is it something that you just fell into? Or
I just grew up around it, man. My mom was a fight fan. She was a huge Tyson fan. My dad used to do fight parties. At like age 8, I was watching like fights from the 30s. You know what I mean? My pops used to, you know what I'm saying? So like I've always been around it, and I just so happened to start getting involved into it. You know what I mean? And I used to fight, you know what I mean? I used to compete, so I just always been around it my whole life for the most part, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Definitely, yeah. I love when you photography too. The photography,
man, that's what I'm saying, man. The dude is crazy on it.
I know you do the photography. The quality is crazy.
It's amazing.
But I love when you do the photography at the fights.
Yeah.
How you get the connections like that? How you get to them fights? Because you got some of my favorite fighters.
Yeah, right, man. Some of the top notch boxers.
You got connections out here.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. It just fell in my lap. Like my homegirl Michelle Rosado, she used to work for Mayweather Promotions.
Okay.
And she left the company, and Top Rank kind of subcontracted her for a show. Like, yo, we want to do the show in Arizona.
Just picked her up.
Yeah. So she was like, yo, like I need some pics real quick of these fighters or whatever. So like I went and snapped the pics. I didn't even edit them. Like I sent them over, and Top Rank was like, yo, who took these pics? And like ask him if you want to shoot the weigh-ins, and shot the weigh-ins. I shot the presser.
Wow.
Killed the press, and it was like, yo, man, like if you want to shoot the whole event, like keep, you know what I mean, keep them on. It just kind of fell in my lap. So after I just started building relationships with them, man. So
yeah, I was talking to Dip before you came in, and I was like, my favorite rappers from the scene do more than music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's dope. You got like CQ, who does the bodybuilding and fitness. Atlas. What he's doing now. And you know, your photography, your connections. It's dope, man. So that y'all multi-talented.
Multi-talented.
You know
Definitely, man.
Definitely. So where did the love for photography come from?
Again, man, I just stumbled into it. So I had a homegirl come out and visit like a while ago, man. I want to say like 5 years ago, something like that. And we hit downtown here because she wanted to check the city out. We hit downtown for a little bit, and then I was taking pics on my phone, and she was like, yo, you got a dope eye. And I never really paid attention to it.
Right.
She was like, you probably could do photography. And I kind of was like, whatever. So I just, I've always been like into like pictures, like looking at pictures, and I could always look and be like, yo, that's a dope pic, like the way it's framed and shit. But I never really partook in it. And one day I was just like, you know what? I used to take pics on my camera. So I was like, on my phone. So I was like, I'm gonna just buy a camera and just fuck around. And I started doing it for fun, and shit just started falling in my lap. Like people started hitting me like, yo, like how much you charge for shoot?
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So it was never to get into it to make money or to be on fucking ESPN shooting
Right,
fights and
right,
shit.
right.
You know what I mean? Like I never
Brag
got
about
into
it.
for that. Yeah.
Hey, man, I mean, I gotta say though, G, that's amazing because a lot of people go to school, a lot of people get a lot of training to try to gain that eye, and for you to just have that eye from just off talent and then just start making them out. I figured you went to school, man. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
in
lie.
fact.
I was just self-taught and passion, man. Like I started doing it and just completely fell in love with it immediately, man. And
Wow, man.
I would go out, and so my secret was when I had a camera, I had a crop sensor, and crop sensors aren't really good at night on low light. So I would always go out and shoot at night with no flash at like the shittiest conditions. So I would force myself to be creative and like find light. And so I was shooting those conditions, and people would be like, yo, like your shit look like movie scenes.
Right.
And so it just forced me to get good. And then I just outgrew the camera and had to upgrade. And from there it was a wrap. Like once I went full frame, it was a wrap after
That's
that.
amazing, man. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
because you're I feel like it's different. Like, how do you correct? Because your photography is not just a regular picture. It seems like how do you make it look the way it looks?
So I've always been into.
But we may need a photo shoot over here. I'm just saying.
I got you.
We definitely need one.
Yeah, I got you. I'm big on capturing life. You know what I mean? Like you get a lot of photographers that are like, drop your shoulder this way, turn this way, look up. Like I don't do that when I shoot because I feel like it's not natural. Like if I'm shooting somebody, I want people to look at that pic and be like, he looked like a cool ass dude. You know what I'm saying? Opposed to like, oh, that's a good picture. You know what I'm saying? Like it does it. So when I shoot, everything's candid for the most part. Like I'll conversate and snap shit, and I try to capture people's actual personality. You know what I mean? And I think that's what makes a pic opposed to just taking one. You know what I mean? You got to create that shit.
Definitely, man. And you got your iconic photos that you have a trap house that's definitely iconic. Definitely, I know you're proud of those photos because those photos will live forever, man. Because you know his aura will live forever. So those photos are pretty much what will have people with memory will be able to see him.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's pretty dope, man.
Yeah, it's you know, it's unfortunate that that's what those photos turned out to be, but at the same time, being a part of his history, man, is something I could, you know what I mean? Like I can't even fathom or even wrap my head around it, man. Like what he did for the city and what he stood for.
Definitely. Yeah, man.
Yeah, he gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Part of the city, definitely.
Recipe Trap. So I want to know how do you this to talk about how you feel. You know, you've been in the hip hop scene out here for a while.
Yeah.
And so you've seen the comings and goings of it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the current state of the hip hop scene, not just locally, overall?
I think it's dope, man. Like we I think we got now like the older cats starting to do what they didn't really do in our era, you know what I'm saying, which is help out. You know what I mean? Like you still got some that are just kind of like, oh, these young cats, I don't really fuck with their music or whatever. But for the most part, man, like all the OGs in the game, local and worldwide, man, are like actually reaching out to the younger artists and trying to guide them to, you know, pass the torch and actually keep the culture alive opposed to killing it. I think it's in a good state right now.
Me too, man.
Yeah, I think it's in a good state.
Yeah, man.
But are people afraid to tell people they're whack? I don't think. I think you're one of the people that are not afraid to tell you they're whack.
Yeah, if I don't like somebody's shit, I'm gonna just say it ain't my cup of tea, man.
But
like,
you think some people are afraid to tell artists that they're not?
Absolutely,
definitely.
Think so?
Yeah, because I think it's the fear of getting that in return. You know what I mean? Like, well, your shit sucks too, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be around people. Like, if I make a record and I show like one of y'all, somebody I'm close to, like, I want my people to be like, it could be better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be stagnant and
well, it's also beef too, man. I mean, I've gotten into it with cats because I've told cats that shit was terrible.
Yeah,
and cats, you know what I'm saying? Cats want to, they want to fuck me up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They automatically I'm hating. I never even met you, dog. You know what I'm saying? So how can I really hate on you when I don't even know you?
Right. Yeah.
This is my first introduction to you was your music, and this is what I told you, and now you mad.
Yeah.
So you mad.
And if anything, man, like you want, like as an artist, I want people like that. Like I want somebody that don't even know me to hear my shit.
Right.
To be honest, opposed to one of my homeboys is just gonna be like,
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, that was fire.
Right.
When it really isn't. You know what I mean? It could have been better. Like I want somebody that have no idea who I am to hear some shit and be like, or like the shit is crazy or whatever. Man.
Right, definitely, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I want to ask you some questions real quick. Before we're gonna continue to interview, but I want to do it. I want to do it now. Or I'm gonna have another one. Because I don't have exactly a segment for my word on the street. So
Oh, okay.
5 fives. All right. Let me get your top 5 fights that the judges got wrong.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Number 1, without a doubt, Whitaker versus Chavez Jr. Hands down. They judges fucked that fight up completely. Damn, yo, this is a tough one. Pacquiao Bradley.
Definitely.
First one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Pacquiao Horn.
You think they got that wrong?
Yeah, they fucked that one up bad. Yeah.
That's the guys, all right.
Yeah, they got Canelo versus Lara was fucking awful.
Terrible.
That shit was bad. And then I'm gonna go with pick whatever Canelo Triple G fight you want to. First or second one, they fuck both those up.
I think the first one they definitely messed up. Yeah.
Bad.
The second one,
it could have, it could have.
The first one, definitely.
The first one was bad, yo.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, do you think? I mean, boxing is probably the hardest thing to judge.
No,
you don't believe so.
He said no. He said
no.
Not. So, I think the fights that are fights are the hardest one to judge, where the fighters are just going ham, just throwing. Both of them are just landing wild shit. They standing in the middle of the ring. Those are the ones that are hard to fight, but judge. But the fights where one person is just purely boxing, those are the easiest ones to judge.
Right.
You know what I mean? The one that's throwing the most jabs, landing the most jabs, circling, keeping it in the center of the, like, those are easy to judge. But for whatever reason,
I think people get too caught up in power punches and all these technicalities instead of just going by how many times this guy, how many times did he get hit, and how many times did he not get hit. Instead, you know, and I think that they get caught up in, he hurt him a little bit this round.
Yeah. The flip side to that too, though, is you got a lot of people that just go strictly off of the total count. You know what I mean? Like they'll look and be like, he landed 140 punches. This guy landed 130. The other guy obviously won, but there's like other caveats to it. You know what I mean? It's
the
like
percentage that he hit him with.
Yeah, and if he controlled where the fight took place, like for example, the Triple G fight, the second one or the first one, but mostly the second one, people thought Canelo won because he stayed in Triple G's face. So there was a story of Canelo doesn't want to fight, so he did it. But they failed to realize that if you watch that fight, there wasn't a single time Triple G was on the ropes.
Right.
Yeah.
He stayed in the middle of the ring and he jabbed Canelo's face off, but nobody counted that shit. You know what I mean? So people just look at, well, Canelo's in his face, he's being a bully, he's winning, but there's other shit that goes.
But that's how most traditionally Mexicans fight, is the forward motion.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's usually how they fight.
Yeah.
I don't think what Triple G is European, right? So,
Right. So they box, you know what I mean? They're boxer punches. So
that's definitely, and I think sometimes the styles can help a person a little bit also. You know, I know that people hated Mayweather because of his style of fighting, the defensive style of fighting. How did you feel about Mayweather as a fighter? Do you appreciate the Philly?
Fucking incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
I believe so too.
Yeah, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I think people give him a bad rap.
Yeah,
I think
I just think it's people who don't understand the sport itself, like they don't understand the science.
Right?
Yeah, they're like, fuck this dude, like he's not fighting. But I mean, you want to be able to raise your kids after, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
Mayweather mastered the art of boxing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He mastered the art of boxing.
Definitely.
Yeah,
man.
and that's
You
what he
know,
did every fight, man. He
yeah.
just purely boxed.
Say what you want, man.
These people, I think they watch too many Rocky movies, and
Yeah,
they get caught up.
Yo, yeah.
They get caught up in someone trying to get. No one wants to get. The mission is to not get punched.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not
Definitely.
that's the mission, man.
Yeah.
That is the mission, and he definitely made
Yeah.
sure that was
Yeah.
that's what he did every fight. So he was
Yeah.
perfect at that, and that he's always going to be a top boxer in mine.
Most
Yeah,
definitely.
he was
Definitely.
incredible, man.
We could talk boxing all day with this.
Oh,
man.
definitely. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Shoot. Yeah, since we on boxing, Deontay Wilder or Tyson?
Mm.
It goes the same way as the first fight.
You think it's gonna
Think
go
so?
the same way?
Yeah.
He had him though,
Tyson,
right?
they should have get it to Tyson.
Yeah. I could have put that in the top 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Tyson boxed that nigga's face off, man. Shit.
He got saved by the knockdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about what's going on in the world right now with the Iran and the U.S. and all that stuff? How you feel?
It sucks, man. Like it really it sucks.
Because we gotta ask we gotta ask some deep questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from it, man, just because I can't control the shit. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
I don't try to put as much energy into it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, man, it's hard to miss, and it's sad that that's more of a subject compared to other shit that's going on.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like nobody's talking about shit that's going on in Australia, or you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like it sucks, man, but ain't really nothing we could do about it, man.
Mm.
Just pray for the best, hope for the best, and hope that shit don't come over here, man.
Definitely.
Yep, that's all we can do.
Most definitely.
Try to vote this dude out of office.
Man,
He said, "Man."
Man.
this nigga get reelected at yo.
So
It's gonna
when
be a sad day.
Yo.
Man.
so when can we catch this project right here? This is crazy. I gotta do
The
it.
artist ridiculous.
What's up with this project?
So we probably gonna shoot for like
This is crazy. Dang.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's a crazy project.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's crazy like how different our styles are, but the way they mesh, man, like it
Mhm.
turned out to be like the collab nobody fucking wanted, but then heard and was like, yo, this shit is crazy.
Right,
Yeah.
right, right.
So we're looking after the first quarter because I'm gonna drop 2 projects, that being one of them, and then I'm gonna drop the follow-up album to Made in America, the Dead in America album.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Word. So you're doing a whole lot of.
yeah, man, it's full solo album. So, yeah, man. So hopefully we don't got an exact date for it, but it's probably gonna be sometime after March or something like that.
That's the
All
shit.
you local award shows, y'all better pay attention. I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a
Man.
crazy project,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That's
Man,
all right.
that's
Now,
hot.
The name of the album is fucking crazy too, man. Like so.
we gonna get the exclusive.
Yeah, man. So Cash's name is my real name with the letters transposed.
Right,
My name
exactly.
is Charles.
Yeah.
So my last name is Wright. So the album's called The Right Amount of Cash.
Okay.
So it's,
Ooh.
yeah,
Ooh.
man. And it's on some grown man real life shit. Yeah.
Dope.
That's
Yes.
ill.
Yeah, we can't wait, man.
Yeah, it's a
And,
dope
and whenever
project,
let it come out, definitely let us know, man. We want the exclusive.
Oh yeah,
We
no
can,
doubt, man.
We
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
want that.
Yeah, no
I know they
doubt.
got some, but let's get into let me throw another top 5 at you.
All right.
Top 5 fights that need to happen in the next 5 years. in
Okay.
boxing.
Let's see.
I
Yeah,
got you.
man, there's a lot of them. What the I'm gonna say, I would say Tank Davis versus anybody at 135, but he would lose.
You think so?
Oh gosh,
You think so?
yeah, he gets washed badly.
When he goes up, yeah.
He gets washed badly. With that being said, though, I do want to see, and this is gonna sound crazy, but
Mhm.
I want to see Tank versus Devin Haney.
That'd be nice.
I think it'd be a good fight. I think
I would rather see that first than who's he beefing with?
Lomachenko.
Yeah. I think I want to see that one before that one.
I don't want to see Lomachenko versus anybody, to be honest. He's too special, man. Like, we already know what the outcome's gonna be.
Right. You think so?
Oh God, yeah. If he fights Tank, it'll be real bad. Real bad. Like Tank might be on suicide watch after that fight.
Really?
Yeah, it'll be real bad.
Is Tank overrated?
Extremely.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Extremely. I think so. I've always said it though. Like,
I'm shocked right now, man. You saying this right now?
Yeah, because so when Bronner was at 135 and he was fighting, I told everybody, I was like, this nigga's not really good.
No, I knew from the beginning.
Yeah, I look at Tank and it's the same eye test and it's the same mannerisms, it's the same behavior. Right. He doesn't throw enough. He does it. He misses weight. He fucks off his camp. Like, he doesn't jab. So like,
they are homies too.
Yeah. So the second he walks in and if they step up and they put him up against a dude that's like in the top 10, it's gonna be a bad day for
that
him.
lazy boxing is
it's
not gonna work.
Probably you think Mayweather is
they definitely protecting him.
Protecting him, yeah.
Definitely protecting him. Yeah. Because they want him to be a pay-per-view star, which is cool. That's what the sports come to. Like, I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Get the kid his
you gotta win though, man.
Yeah.
And you gotta beat people that matter.
Yeah,
definitely.
Not even more importantly, you got to fight people that are ranked.
Right.
Like Gamboa. Gamboa is a small dude. He's washed up. He's old, torn Achilles, so whatever. But the dude he fought before that was ranked like something crazy, man. Like 89 in the world or some shit like that. Shoot. You know what I mean? And then the dude before that was ranked like 70 something in the world. So he's not. The second he gets to the like top 10, it's gonna be tough, man.
Not to break up your top 10, but I want to ask you this: do you think that boxing needs a mandatory seeding where if you're in the top 5 and you're the champion, you have to fight the #1 contender like UFC has? Where you can't run from the contenders.
It is like that. The only problem is boxing's the only sport that doesn't have a governed body to keep those rules in place.
Right.
So, for example, say I own WBC, right?
Right.
And you're a promoter. You have a fighter that's a champion. Me, as the owner of WBC, would be like, yo, you got to fight this dude. He's your mandatory. He's ranked #2.
Yeah.
Right.
There's really nobody to control that, to be like, yeah, motherfucker, fight him. Like, you can't run from this.
Right.
Like, so if you as a promoter have enough money, you can just cut me a check and I'll keep my mouth shut. You know what I mean? I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, I won't say anything. And then you could go fight whoever you want. Like, Floyd was the master at that shit.
Right.
Like, he did it the last, I want to say like 60% of his career he did it. You know what I mean? Like, he fought whoever the hell he wanted to fight.
Right.
Because he had the money to be like, I'm not going to fight him. I'll just write you a check.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's one of my things I wanted to ask you, because I think it should be. Yeah. They need to come up with a governing body.
It needs one bad.
Yeah, definitely, because I think it's just it still has that feeling of the 1920s that anything can happen. Anybody can be bought out. Any judge can be bought out.
Yep.
And since it has that feeling, the boxing can be elevated to the ranks it needs to be, because I think it's a much better product than UFC. I think I agree with you. I just think it's a better product. Yeah. And because they take the product and they don't hold the product to the standards that it's supposed to be held, and they don't have someone that's holding people accountable. Yeah. I think that boxing gets a bad name and a bad rap because of those things.
Yeah.
You know
Some years I hate the sport. I'm like, fuck this sport, man.
Right.
I don't even want to.
Right, man. So I want to ask you that, but back to you.
Nah, that's true. It's boxing needs something.
Yeah,
definitely,
man.
Definitely.
You get 4 more Boston from.
Let's see, 4 more. Let's see. Call me crazy, but I want to see Fury versus either AJ or Ortiz.
Okay. I don't want to see him against AJ. I don't see him. No, I want to see the Ortiz.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see the Ortiz.
Yeah, Fury
lot of people
Ortiz would be,
sleeping on
him.
yeah, or that shit would be a masterpiece.
He's a monster.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's a beast,
It'd be a
man.
masterpiece.
I do want to.
man.
I agree with you on the Ortiz one, definitely.
Oof, I don't know,
man.
man.
I'm not excited about AJ no more, man. Just
I think he just wasn't in the right headspace, man. Like sometimes it happens, and I think he needed that, man. Like I think he needed that L. To,
Yeah,
you know what I
it'll
mean?
wake him up.
He
Well,
fucked
even
off
the-
his camp, like
Yeah.
plain
Even
and
if
simple.
even the fight before that, though, it's just like it wasn't too.
I think he reminds me of Lennox Lewis though, because Lennox
Yeah.
made
Yeah.
those kind of mistakes also.
Yeah.
But he showed up when it was time to show up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he had a couple bullshit losses. You was like,
Yeah.
the fuck you what?
Yeah, I agree with
You
you.
know what I'm saying? Just
I agree
fuck
with
his
the
camp
Lennox
up.
Lewis,
Right,
but
right.
Yeah.
I knew when I saw this nigga didn't have a haircut. He didn't shave. I was like, he been through, you know what I mean?
Right,
I'm like,
right.
he about to get his shit off this
Right,
fight.
yeah.
Yeah. He boxed his ass off, but
Yeah.
usually like he'll go
Oh,
through
that's
camp
what
and
it
he got
is.
like the little scuffle and shit, and then like
Yeah.
when the press like fight week come, he get faded up.
Mhm.
Right.
He didn't do none of that shit. I was
Like,
like,
I
yeah,
don't
this
give a
nigga
fuck,
went through
right.
hell in camp, yo. Like,
Right. Facts.
That's the shit.
Let me get 3 more, boss. Man.
let's see. One of them's happening already in April. Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That should be a
I
good
want to see
fight.
that one. Yeah, just because Teofimo's so goddamn big, yo.
Yeah.
He's 135. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how he makes that weight.
Hey, that's discipline or something.
Yeah, and he's special too, though, man. Like he gets the special nod for me. When I first started watching him, I'm like, yo, this kid is like, he's gonna be around for a while.
Yeah.
Let's see who else, man. Usyk versus AJ. I want to see.
That'd be nice right there.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice fight right there.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think Usyk versus AJ would be a fire fight. It's a sleeper fight. And then I'm gonna say, I'll give you 2 more actually.
Okay.
Gary Russell versus Tank,
Mhm.
or fuck, I'll give you 7, man. So or Gary Russell versus Leo Santa Cruz, like that shit has to happen.
Right.
Or Leo versus Tank, one of
Mm.
those 3.
That'd be
Yeah,
some competition right
definitely.
there.
Yeah, I
That'd
think
be some
those would be fire
competition. I
fights.
agree with that. That'd be exciting for boxing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that's what they need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Get some. You say you're a historian. Before we, why you like history so much? How did the love of history, being a historian? And,
Just the
knowing
boxing
the facts
historian,
and all
man.
that.
Like just there's so much to the sport, man, and
Mhm.
and like we take for granted what these fighters sacrifice. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
they sign a contract that basically says you legally give this man the right to kill you. If
You
you die,
definitely
there's
do, man.
nothing your family can do.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
was
So
watching
like,
some-
yeah, so like in knowing that, man, it's dope to see, you know, what they accomplish going into it, because that's some scary shit. You got to go in and perform under that kind of fire. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, so to see like what people accomplish under that pressure was
yeah.
dope to me. You know what I mean? So I just started watching it and just keeping shit in my head, and
Mhm.
Definitely.
yeah,
That's. I like how you know the facts of everything
yeah, man.
when it comes to them debates. Especially
Yeah,
with,
man.
I know you had somebody that wanted to ask me why she question. Was it Chris Wynn?
Yo, yeah, that's my dude, man. Shout out to Chris. Me and Chris with debate.
Yeah, y'all.
I saw that.
Going in.
I thought that was hilarious.
That's my nigga though, man. Yeah, big, you know what? Another fight that people want to see that I don't want to see, surprisingly,
Hmm.
is Crawford versus Spence.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh.
want to see that shit.
I want to
What?
see it.
Yeah, man.
That's one of the. I want to see it, man.
I don't want to see it, man. I wanted to see it before the accident. I think Bud washes him, but so I just don't want the excuse from Spence fans or boxing
Right,
fans to
right.
be like, "Whoa, the accident!"
The
Like,
accident.
you know what I
I
mean?
would not. I know. I'm gonna look at. I know Spencer's gonna win.
You think so? You think so?
Hey, man.
I know Spencer's gonna
He
win.
can.
Spencer's gonna win, right? But if he doesn't win, I'm not gonna use the car accident as an excuse.
I can respect that.
All right.
Now, it's not a lot of fans like that. Like
Yeah.
people would be like, "Nah, well, we'll never know what would
know,
have happened
people-
before the accident."
keep-
And all
they
that
keep
shit. Like,
that
nah,
tucked
man.
in.
Yeah,
Keep a couple
Yeah.
excuses.
yeah. I don't.
They start making them up before the fight day.
Real shit. Yeah,
Write down what they gonna say.
Yep.
Most definitely. Let's get into some trivia. You already know.
All right.
All right, so we got 5 questions for you.
All right.
You get 3 out of the 5 correct. We'll donate $50 to your charity of choice.
Okay. All right.
You get some
Right.
lifelines too.
Yeah, he got a couple lifelines. We'll give you 3 lifelines.
All right.
Call someone on your phone.
You
Oh,
have
word.
right. You can call someone, use one of the fellas, or you can. I'm gonna give you a freebie and see if you can Google it to see if you know the answer.
All right.
first.
Okay.
All right. So, question number 1. In October of 1970, Muhammad Ali's ban was lifted, and he immediately staged a fight against the top contender, Jerry Query. What was Query's rank in the heavyweight division at that time?
Oh shit. Damn, that's a good question. I know he wasn't. 1970.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one. That's a good question, yo. I know he was top 10. But I don't think he broke the top 5.
So, what do you think his rank was?
I want to say 7.
Is that your final answer?
Look, you got lifelines too if you want to.
A hard question, man. Nobody
That's a hard question, yo. Cause like back then, like rankings, nobody really gave a fuck about rankings back then.
Yeah.
Query. He was 2. He was 2.
Look.
You are incorrect. He was ranked number 1.
Was he?
Yeah.
You was close though.
I, said, I think I said.
I was-
I think
yeah,
I
I was-
said 2 to myself.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
because I was thinking of who the fuck did he fought somebody else after that too that didn't crack the top 10.
That's
All right.
crazy. Dude was so he wasn't even that great
Yeah.
of a fighter, but
Yeah.
hey.
Back in the time, you had the ranks and all that.
Yeah.
Question 2.
All right.
Who did Michael Moore fight in 1994 heavyweight title, hyped as one for the ages, and lost to?
When?
The fight happened in 94.
Okay.
It was a heavyweight fight, and the fight was titled One for the Ages.
One for the ages. Good question.
Michael
Did
Moore.
Michael Moore fight
More.
You said 94.
in 94.
Huh. Damn, that's a
Definitely someone you know. Do you remember it?
that's a tough. Wow, that's a tough question, yo.
His name is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Foreman?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
was
was.
Foreman. Yeah,
It was Foreman.
Yeah.
yeah.
George Foreman.
It's
Yeah.
1 for 2.
Ooh.
Question 3.
Uh-oh.
What year in the 1970s did Muhammad Ali have his last fight as a heavyweight champion?
I think I know this one.
77.
Oh.
Is that your final answer?
I have a year in my head. It don't match.
I want to say he fought that late. Fuck, I don't think anybody knows that shit.
I think.
I might take a freebie on this one and Google.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna Google this one.
He gonna take one of his lifelines.
one of your lifelines?
I'm gonna take
Alright.
a freebie and Google this.
Can I guess? Even though he's gonna get the answer.
Yeah.
You can take a guess.
78.
You close.
You close.
Oh, that was 78.
You know, we know it's not 77 or 78.
He didn't fight close into the 80s though. Like I thought he.
I thought it was 78. That's what I thought it was, but it's not.
Mm-mm.
You on good? You say, what's your final answer? Or do you want to get the lifeline?
Wow. I'm trying to think if Ali was still fighting when I was born. Because I thought he was retired by the time I was born. I'm gonna Google this one.
All right.
All right.
Let's see.
That's the lifeline this week is the Google.
Because I'm actually interested in knowing this. Because I want to say he wasn't fighting until
It was close.
Word. Well, wasn't in the 70s. Hold up.
He said, hold up.
Wow, that's crazy. So he fought into the 80s? December 11th, 1981 was his last fight.
81.
That was his last fight, but what was his last fight as a heavyweight champion?
Oh,
In the
that was the
70s.
question.
Yeah.
Oh, the heavyweight champion.
Shit.
Yes. His last fight as a heavyweight champion. What year was that?
79.
Yeah, there you go.
79.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I thought like what was his last fight? I'm like,
we gonna give you this. We're gonna get that. You get half a point for that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just when was his last fight in the 70s.
Yeah.
As a heavyweight champ.
As a heavyweight
Yeah.
champion.
Okay, as a champion.
All right. Question number 4. Who received a reported $25 million for a boxing match that lasted 89 seconds?
Don King.
It's a boxer.
Oh, it's a boxer.
Mhm.
Yes.
You
it's
said
a
a year?
boxer. No.
2017, right?
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, it was in
hold on, hold on, hold on.
2017.
you know this one. You know this one.
The fight did happen in 2017.
Yeah, you know this one.
It lasted how long?
89
seconds.
seconds.
89 seconds,
you know.
2017.
And the boxer received
How much?
25 million.
Yeah,
25 mil?
yeah, you know this one.
Who the fuck was making 25 mil in 2017?
You know this one.
You know it.
Yeah, you definitely know this
There's only one person that's
They
making
can't-
money
I mean-
like that for fights.
one. Yeah, you know this one.
89 seconds. I mean, Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, who the fuck did he
No.
fight that?
That
It-
cost the waters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember he did that fight?
He fought the English
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
But
I didn't
that's
even
not
count
who
that shit as a
received the
match.
money. Mike Tyson received the 25 mil.
What?
What?
He received a reported 25 mil for a boxing match that lasted 89
Oh, the year
seconds.
you said the year was 2017. What year was it?
I think it was in 2017.
No, it wasn't.
No. Nah,
No.
so you messed with that question.
Yeah.
We gotta
That's
get.
the question up.
Yeah, what was that one?
That was in 1980. She talking about the Michael Spinks fight.
Oh,
That was in
but the Mayweather thing happened in
a couple years.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's the next
Japan.
question. So you messed that up. We get that to you.
We get that
Next
one.
one.
We gonna get that one.
You messed it up. 'Cause you wanted to insert some extra shit.
I asked you a question. I said, "What year is it?"
Whatever. The question didn't have a year on it, so fucked it up. All right.
Oh man.
Now, since you messed up my question, I got backup questions.
Oh, she can't. Okay. She can't prepared.
All right, question 5. What Mexican boxing champ lost for the first time to little known Frankie Randall?
A Mexican boxing champ. Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
Chavez.
Yep.
Good fight, by the way, too. Good fight.
I didn't know I didn't know he lost in it, but I thought his first loss was to Leonard.
No.
No.
Frankie Randall.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck Frankie Randall is.
Yeah, watch that fight. Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Wow.
Most def. That's the 5?
That's the 5.
And he got him.
I don't know if I should give this to you or
Nah, he got it.
he
man.
got it. We gonna give this to you because I didn't know.
He messed the question. He would have got that right because no way he would have not known about that fight. That lasted like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Think to Mike Tyson. Everybody know that.
Yeah, like
Yeah, the year fucked me up. I was like, yo,
Right.
who was making bread like that other than Floyd?
Let's run down. We got like 15 minutes left. We'll give you a couple segments. I do want to shout out our sponsors, WaywardKid.com.
Wayward Kid.
Our
Wayward
sponsor,
Kid in the house.
The podcast. Check out www.waywardkid.com. You know, the home of entertainment news. They also have the kids workshop program and the proceeds of all the percentage of the proceeds of the WaywardKid.com going to the Wayward Kids Foundation.
Cool.
And we also have a sponsor / donator. Shout out to Miss Joanne Muhammad. You know what I mean?
Miss
She-
Muhammad.
Both our sponsors.
She donated today to the podcast.
That's dope, man.
And shout out to her for supporting DanYo&Tita podcast. Hit us up if you'd like to donate. Sponsor the DanYo&Tita podcast. You know.
We already need it. We need it all.
You want to get into some segments real quick? We got like 15 minutes left.
Okay. You want to go into your food real fast?
Well, the only thing we really got this week for the meal of the week is we got some salsa verde chicken.
Oh.
I put it in the crock pot and cooked all night pretty much. And we're going to make some burritos out of that. So
Fire.
that's
Okay.
what we're going to have for lunch today.
Okay,
Cool.
most definitely.
All right. I'm going to the lean perspective. I'm just going to talk a little bit about how we got into this Iran mess here that we got going on. I'm gonna give a little bit just on the timeline on when some of these things started. You know, it looks the main thing that people are not aware of is what started this is that Trump backed out of the Iran nuclear deal that was created in 2015.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And once he got out of that deal, that ramped up the rhetoric between the two countries, between us and them. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much what got it started there. We had a couple other things where the Pentagon and the military moved some ships around in the Middle East to try to kind of confront Iran on some things. And John Bolton moved some ships around and made some troops and brought in some troops and different things.
Right.
They're trying to make the countries feel uneasy. You know what I mean? And
Right.
these things start making the relationship start to bend and break mostly because of that deal. You know what I mean? Iran liked the deal. They liked the situation they was in. They wanted to keep the deal. In fact, most of Europe still is complying with the deal. It was just 4 months ago that Iran has started breaking promises of that deal because the U.S., you know, the main leaders of the deal has backed out of it. And it's not a good thing that we do not have that deal, because without the deal, we can't go in and check their factories to see if they have anything, centrifuges or anything they're building towards getting nuclear weapons. We don't have the ability to be able to check them and see what do they have or do they not have in their facilities now. You know what I mean? That was taken away. Now, they talk about the guy who was killed. The general was a high-ranking official. That was the first time someone had been killed, a high-ranking official had been killed between either country in many years, especially between the Iran and America conflict.
Right.
This is a conflict that do go back all the way to the 70s or later, because things that happened before. And we've had many other conflicts since. But right now, the last 20 years, we haven't really had any problems with Iran, like like we have it now.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people, you know, I've seen a lot of
A little
people, you
deeper
know,
right here.
right? They're like happy that this guy was killed and saying he's did a lot of things, but he did do a lot of bad things. But right now, at this time, 2 presidents decided not to kill the guy because of what the situation could boil over to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what it's about. It's about we have to make sure that the country is making moves that's better for the country as a whole, not just taking out every terrorist. Because if we're killing every terrorist, we'll be killing a lot of people that dislike America. You know what I mean? So and right, and that's a slippery slope. And that's been my word all week, is that we can't just start killing everyone that we feel is a terrorist and just go off and kill them. That would definitely be a start of war with every country in the world. You know what I mean? Because many countries don't like us because we like to come into countries and set up shop, chill. You know what I mean? And that disrupts the areas which create terrorist groups.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is what creates them. So my main point is that this is probably going to be a conflict that we're going to see for a while, because the way of Trump went about backing out of the deal instead of renegotiating the deal to a better liking of that he liked. He didn't want Obama's deal to have nothing about it. He wanted a new deal.
Oh, you want that new
he
joint?
created, yeah, that he created, and he was trying to bring them to the table, but Iran refused to come to the table because they just negotiated a deal in 2015. You know what I mean? So they're like, hey.
So they want to stick to that.
Right. Keep to the word that you just had a couple years ago, which anybody would do. I don't want to renegotiate. And most presidents do. When they come in, they honor the deals that the last president put in. That's usually how it works. Most people don't come in and say,
at least in the first term, right?
Well, in all situations, if you want to change a bill or anything, you usually bring a bill to make it better throughout Congress and the Senate, that you won't pass. Hey, I don't like this bill, so I'm going to pass this to make it better. Right. He didn't have a backup deal.
Okay.
He just, I don't like that deal.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, the country's not going to feel that. You know what I mean? They're going to be upset about that. So, hopefully things will go down and back to normal. But right now, I do think that we probably going to see a little more tit for tat, where they're like shooting down little planes and doing little proxy wars, is what they call them. And that's usually what they do. They never was really as blunt as they were last week, shooting at military camps.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like that. So
that's crazy right there.
So that's the Lean perspective this week.
That's the Lean perspective. Boss man, I need y'all to. They're gonna come in with the meal of the week, but I need you to tell us more about this joint right here. Let them know where it's at. This is fire.
Yeah, man. The Bruce Lee joint. It's everywhere, man. It's on all streaming platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Google. I mean, it's everywhere, man. Just dropped yesterday. We're gonna keep pushing it, man. We're gonna push it to radio, have them spin it. So
definitely,
yeah, man.
Let us know, how we can, help out with that, because that is fire.
Yeah, man.
That's the shit.
Yes, definitely. So I want to know what's your as far as your angles and stuff, like how did you learn how to get these angles, like at the weigh-ins and stuff?
Yeah.
Are you up front when you take the photos?
Yeah.
Or you're up front and personal?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I use a zoom lens, man, so I could go wide, close up, however I want to shoot it, man. Yeah. So I try to give, at least 2 different looks for each pose, you know what I mean? So if they're doing a face off, I try to get a wide one to show everybody, and then I'll just do a close up joint too.
Yeah. So, being at these fights, you are at the fights, and the weigh-ins and all that. Do you you're also in the back too, right?
Yeah.
You're in the back row.
Yeah, I've been doing, so I haven't been shooting like at the top rank joints. I haven't really been shooting the fights. I've been doing mostly the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, so crowd shots and like in the locker rooms and
have you built a relationship with any of the fighters?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
We're all
really?
cool. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We're all cool. Yeah.
What's some of the fighters that you built a relationship with? Because
So,
I want you to brag about it.
Bud was just out here. Crawford was just out here. He came up to the gym. Him and
Okay.
Bomac. Yeah.
Did you post that pic, right? Did you post it?
Nah, I was actually. It's funny because I was actually sick.
Oh, okay.
I was at the crib, but Bomac was like, "I need a gym for a hooker to lose weight or whatever." So
Okay.
I told him to go up to Pro Edge. They went up there, bought up there and stuff. They cooled out for a couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Austin Trout, but even before like he became big, like that's been my little brother for 20. You know what I mean? Like I've known him
Right.
since he was like 8 years old, 9 years old. You know what I mean?
Who's your favorite fighter of all time?
Fuck, that's a tough all time. I'ma say
Because I'll tell you, mine is not Muhammad Ali.
neither was mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither was mine.
He's up there though. He's up there.
Word. Appreciate you. Yeah, he's definitely up there. I mean, I think so. My favorite. See, there's caveats to that question, man, because I have like the eye test of like my favorite fighters that I enjoy watching,
Right.
and then my favorite fighters based off of who I think is the best ever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, man, like my favorite fighter of all time to watch.
Mayweather's actually up there.
But yeah, Floyd's up there.
Yeah.
He's beautiful to watch. I'm Floyd and Whitaker. Yeah, Floyd and Whitaker.
Like Whitaker?
Yeah, my favorite fighter right now is Lomachenko,
Okay.
Wow.
and I think Ray Robinson is the greatest of all time.
Oh, word.
Yeah,
I'm a
That era
yeah,
and how many rounds they was fighting
yeah. And how many fights?
and how many fights he had.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like he had a pro career of what Lomachenko had and Triple G had of an amateur career. You know what I mean? Like he was a pro. He had like 250 fights as a pro. You know what I mean? Which is
Man.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane, dude.
And only lost like 19 times.
Right, man.
that's when he was tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He was like getting older and stuff, like losing the stat. But like in the early days, he was, you know what I mean? He's literally killing people in the ring.
man.
Like it's
Those
crazy.
cats
Man.
were
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Medaforacle. He said he wanted to do some work with you real quick. He said in the comment section.
Oh, word. Yeah, tell him, let's get it, man. Let's rock with it. Yeah.
Sugar Ray Leonard's mine. It's just his style.
He's a
Man,
his
he was
style.
the man.
I just like his style.
Yeah.
He had everything. I
Yeah,
always
he was the
said
I like how he danced on him.
I always say he would have beat Floyd. Like if they were both in their prime, I always say he would have beat Floyd.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because they got the kind of it's not the same style,
Nah,
but
Sugar Ray threw more punches than him.
He threw more
No,
punches
no,
and he
he-
was mean.
Yeah.
but
He was mean.
I
yo.
could see Sugar Ray and Floyd a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely paved the way for Floyd.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like 135, Floyd was more Sugar Ray than
Yeah.
like 140,
Right,
147.
right.
Yeah.
I think once Floyd mastered that art, if I
Man.
do this and
Yeah. I tell you another person, one of my favorites to watch of all time was George Benton.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He to me is the greatest to ever use the Philly shell.
Wow.
no, right.
Ever. Like it wasn't
Nice.
close, man.
Yeah.
George Benton, James Toney.
Yeah, that's why I thought Tony.
Yeah. My
Lights
top
out.
3 ever to will probably be Benton, not in no particular order, but
Mhm.
like to watch, like ever would probably be Benton, Tony, and Whitaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
So we could talk boxing all day.
Right here.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I love boxing. So I love watching it times with the kids. So it's just
Yeah,
I
man.
love it. I know that you're passionate about it and everything.
Yeah. Shout out to Wilder though, man, for bringing the heavyweight division back, man. Like
Shout out,
he's
definitely, man.
yeah.
I love it. I know he's not the greatest
Yeah.
overall.
He sucks. Like he's
Don't do that to my man.
the
man.
nigga sucks, man. But I'm a fan of him, man. I've been around him several times. Like I've hung. He's just he's doing dope stuff, man. Like he brought heavyweight back,
Yeah.
man. So it's
Um,
dope.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah. But I think I think it's just it's exciting to see that.
Yeah,
Definitely
it's real
exciting
dope,
to
man.
see.
Because if heavyweight's striving, man, the rest of the sport is like it's
Yeah.
always been like that.
Yeah.
Most definitely. We back live. We have some technical difficulties, but before I called Tita to come in, but we had to stop because the greatest question of the was asked. So let's get this question in. Go ahead, repeat that question for Dip.
Yeah, man. Why you hate LeBron so much?
Oh man, I get so much shit online because you got pure hate for LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, I did not like the Miami when he went to Miami.
That was
man.
trash.
I didn't like that. I did not respect that.
Yeah, that was trash.
And I think before then he was not even on my radar. But when he did that, dog, I really disliked that. And then when I started watching him a whole lot, once he went to Miami, I just didn't like him, his game, dog.
Word.
I just started disliking the way he was playing, the way he was going at it. Ever since then, man. Cleveland LeBron first 6 years is a different character than that character that we received in Miami
After the rings.
For real, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, look, dude, like I said, I'm like Stephen A. He does everything. He's a perfect husband. He's a great man for the community. He does a lot for the kids. He's a great role model. But when I look at his antics on the court, flopping, can't fucking shoot. You know what I mean? Like he can't hit a fucking free throw.
Bulldozing his way through the.
You know what I mean?
Like
his footwork is for real, man. If he had a couple of these things, he would be the greatest player in all time.
But his career shooting percentage is better than Jordan's.
Yeah, because he goes into the paint though.
No,
he can't. Right.
3-point and field goals like outside of layups.
Right.
Like he shot better than Jordan his whole career.
The rules at the perimeter makes it a little different than the eras. And the fact that Jordan didn't really shoot threes like that makes it a little different also. So it's the eras.
He shot less than Jordan though.
He less threes?
Yeah. He shot less threes and made more at a higher percentage.
I don't know. I thought he shot more threes and he shot more threes and had a higher percentage. Is what I think. He's a better 3-point shooter than Jordan was, definitely. But I don't think he's a better shooter than Jordan was. Because you have to put it all overall. You got the mid-range, you got free throws, right? You got it all the overall. You just can't add just what
but he has a greater percentage though.
15 minutes. I wish he had another 15 minutes.
So where do you rank him then?
LeBron is a top player.
Top what?
I would give him
10,
definitely top 5. He's a top 5.
I could dig it.
He's the best small forward that ever played the game. Period.
Can I say that?
Period.
I like Kobe better than LeBron.
Me too.
A lot of people do.
Yeah,
Kobe just had a killer instinct.
It's the instinct. Yeah, it's the instinct, and it's disappearing on the big games. The big game stages. Those 3 when he disappeared those times in Dallas and in Boston.
Like LeBron is the teammate that everybody wants, but it's also a flaw of his because like he'll pass up a good shot to help out a teammate.
Definitely.
Kobe would be like, "Fuck y'all niggas.
Right.
All 5 of y'all got me. I'm shooting."
And a good example is Dwight Howard. You know, he's good with LeBron with the Lakers. He's cool. He could not get because Kobe is not about fun.
Yeah,
LeBron and Dwight Howard can work together because they're about fun.
Right.
Yeah.
LeBron and Kobe ain't about that shit.
Yeah.
We ain't trying to have fun. We try to fucking win.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? So it's a different aura around the team. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
For sure.
We're gonna get ready to wrap up this show, man. I appreciate you coming through, boss man.
Yeah, man.
Blessing us
Anytime,
with
man.
your
It was a
presence.
blast.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
We're honored to have you, man. Yeah, man.
So talk all day.
Yeah, man.
But Tita, give us a quote today. We can get more on the
what's
cam.
our quote for the day, Tita?
Quote of the
Get more on the
day.
cam.
Let me
Get more on the
see.
cam. You know how we gotta go through this every time Tita does her quote.
Let me see what do I got for quote of the day this week.
What you got? Come on, Tita. Come on, Tita. I'm gonna get you the gunshot now.
Without struggle, there is no progress.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Can I do a quote of the day?
Yes, you can.
Dang. What can I do a new saying for? Can I do a saying of the day
For the new year?
for the new year? You know, a lot of people say fake it till you make it. I say make it till you make it. Make your content, make your music, make whatever you're good at until you make it into
like
success.
That's
It's the DanYo&Tita podcast. We out.
We out.
Holla, holla.
Bye.